How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to In the Pit with Steve. My name is Steve, and I am filling in for Steve this week. I am your host, Steve, here at this channel run by me. Today, checking out a brand new band, for me at least, Bloodywood. I keep hearing the name pop up a lot lately. I don't think, as far as I know, I've ever listened to them. You know, there's always the possibility whenever I hear one of these new bands that maybe somewhere at some point there was a playlist that they were inserted on and I heard, but I have never gone out of my way to specifically listen to them. So I'm very curious. The only thing I know is that they are from India, and they are heavy. I believe they are a heavy band, and I'm not sure if I can really rattle off any heavy Indian artists off the top of my head. So I'm kind of curious to see what they have to offer. But beyond that, you know, I'm going in totally blind, which I always really love to do. I wasn't sure really where to start, so I just kind of went and looked at some of their more popular songs, and we are checking out the song, and I apologize for the pronunciation because I'm sure this is going to be terrible. GADDAAR, GADDAAR. So hopefully that wasn't the worst attempt at pronouncing that. But I'm excited. Anytime I get a chance to listen to a new band, I take the opportunity to dive in head first, because, you know, you never know when you're going to find the next thing that you just absolutely fall in love with. I try to keep myself as open as possible to all genres of music. And because of that, you know, I found some really amazing stuff over the years. So that's kind of the point of this channel, right? The point of the channel isn't really for me to sit here and you listen to my dumbass opinion. The point of this channel is for us to share new music with each other, talk about the bands we love, and dive further into them, right? So what better way to start with Bloodywood than just jumping in feet first. So without any further ado, let's get in the pit with Bloodywood.
ये मुसलमान का खून, ये हिंदू का खून। बता, मुसलमान का कौन सा, हिंदू का कौन सा? बता, साले बनाने वाले ने फर्क नहीं किया, तू कौन आता फर्क करने वाला? Turning to fate, turning to hate, turning to votes, turning to notes. Like a kind of black money with the antidote. Best kind of bloody, yeah, we're bringing the hope. You gotta walk the rope up on your block, provoked. And what you're not sure you wanna, gotta block the boat. Where you at? I don't need no gun. I bring the fire and the fury of the third world, son. Time for me, once again. Time again. What don't get from me? I'm controlling time again. Turn on my life. And what you're not sure you wanna go rock the boat. Never will I stop, never will I say die. I said never will I stop, never will I say. Never will I stop, never will I say die. I said never will I stop, never will I.
All right, I think that's probably a pretty decent stopping point right there. I really like the use and influence of the traditional instruments there. I'm a big sucker for any time that you can kind of combine more classical instrumentation into modern music, or, you know, instruments that are native to a particular region or area of the world, and make it blend together, because it's just such a different sound than what you're used to, right? There's not a lot of people doing that kind of thing, so it makes it stand out immediately. And I really dig it. What I definitely did not expect was the sort of rap flow that they have. It reminds me a lot of kind of the stuff that was happening at the turn of the century, I guess, you know, the early 2000s. Some of their riffing and guitar tone in this, and maybe it's just because I heard this band while I was out driving today, so maybe it's just kind of influencing it. It gives me a little bit of like a non-point influence. I would say these guys are overall definitely heavier than that, but there was something about it that just kind of was like, oh yeah, this is a little bit like non-point a little bit. And that's, I don't mean that like in a bad way or anything like that. But it's that kind of like blending of like the cadence of hip hop from the vocals mixed with, you know, the heavy riffs of, I mean, I would say this is like nu metal adjacent, getting closer to maybe some type of metalcore ish, you know, it's kind of like a 50-50 blend between the two. And then obviously you have the outside influence of the traditional instruments in it, but it's a really unique kind of combination. You know, that particular blend of music at the time was not even really my cup of tea back then, and it still kind of isn't, with that kind of like rap rock flow to it. That's not to say that like I can't get into it or that I wouldn't listen to it or anything like that. It's just not necessarily the thing that I'm always going to kind of like, oh, I'm looking for something to listen to, I'm going to pull from this genre. Like, it's never one of those things that I'm like, man, it's been a while since I've heard some rappy nu metal. Like, let me put some of that on there. But you know, it's still good. Like, this is still a good song so far, and I'm kind of curious to see where they go, because we're still what, like a third of the way through the song, if that. And I'm curious if we're going to get a solo. I'm curious if we get a solo, will it be like a traditional solo, like kind of sitar or something like that? Or are they going to kind of face melt us here with this badass looking guitar this guy is holding? So I am intrigued. They have piqued my curiosity.
Clap the crap, they call him governance. More than a rap man, we're reforming governments. Full on attack, man, get with the plan. We're here to pull apart the politicians and the God plan. Yeah, we're saying, but we're saying nothing new. We're just saying you better do the shit you say you're gonna do. None of that fake shit, WWE, cause you know we keep it real like the UFC.
मजा आया
Indian singing intensifies. All right, that's good.
You brought the yin, we brought the big gang. Make a big bang, got me real wild like a Mustang. Untamed, need to play in the game. Burn it down and build it up and never do the shit the same. Toss on man, once again.
Just an ad for the album. All right, I want to say they said at the beginning of this video what language this was in. I know that India, because it's such a large country, that they have different dialects, different languages. I don't know if this is Hindi, but I think it said in the opening line of the subtitles here once the song got started. Where was it? He's coming up soon, I think. But the point I was gonna make with that is that it's a very percussive language from like a tonal perspective. Oh, maybe not. Oh, he said Urdu. Okay, he said Urdu, Hindi. Okay, so I'm not sure if they're speaking Hindi or Urdu. But whatever language he is speaking, it lends itself very well to heavy music because it is a very percussive sounding language. And I just wanted to try and get a shot of the drummer's kit. There we go. Perfect. He's got a big mix of cymbals. He's got Zildjian Meinl. I can't make out what brand that is. That might be Sabian. I'm not positive. So he's just got a big mix of stuff, which is always nice to see. Ludwig kit. I saw that earlier. Rocking the 4-piece. I played heavy stuff on a 4-piece myself. It's doable. Sometimes you wish you had a little bit more in the way of options, but you could definitely make it work. But yeah, overall, I liked it quite a bit. The rap rock part of it, some of the lyrics, maybe it's a translation issue, maybe not. They could very well be completely fluent in English. I have no idea. A little on the cringy side with some of the choices he made. But the translation of the native language stuff, I mean, it's obviously some pretty biting political commentary, and it's not like they aren't coming from a country rife with political injustice and a long history of some not very great things happening, especially when it comes to like British colonialism and things like that. But yeah, I like it. I want to hear more. This is like a really good like entry point into the band, but I'm very curious to see like what else do they have to listen to, because it said at the very end that this was from their debut album. I think this video said it was a couple years old, so I want to see if maybe they have anything newer. So I'm very curious. So if you're a fan of the band, leave a comment down below of maybe where I should go next with checking out more from Bloodywood. But I will be back in just a moment to wrap things up with some final thoughts. All right. Like usual with bands that are brand new to us, I'm going to pull up the Wikipedia here. So they are from New Delhi, formed in 2016. It says they actually started off as a parody band. So that's kind of cool. Cited Linkin Park, Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down, Alter Bridge, and Limp Bizkit as musical influences. You definitely hear all of that coming through. Let me see here. Dude was a corporate lawyer. There you go. That's pretty cool. Let's see. You played Wacken Open Air. Oh, that's cool. All right, yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, the first album came out a couple years ago. No new album since then, so maybe we'll get some new music in the near future there. That's cool. So yeah, there's 3 full-time members of the band, and then it looks like they have their touring members. And yeah, it's a dole is the traditional drum that is in there with the band. Doesn't say what language it is. I just don't know enough. Correct me in the comments if it's Hindi or if it's Urdu. But yeah, I definitely want to see more of them. I'm curious to listen to some of the other songs on the album. It looks like they have another song called Danadan. And it looks like that one's fairly popular. So yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I certainly didn't dislike it. So I want to check out more, but that's going to do it for me. Thanks once again for getting in the pit, and we'll see you again real soon.